Here you doing? I don't actually have specific numerical data of what I'm going to talk about from now, but I feel current scientists are too devoted to materialism, and that's nothing new anyway. And personally, I think it's time for science to graduate from the stage of pursuing the physical wealth and the method that leads to a certain answers by following a certain logics from established hypothesis referred to a numerical data and numerical formula has eliminated people's unclear assumption and uncertainty and has brought a great economic development and technology innovation in this world. Technologies by means of physics and mathematics has made astonishing results in materialized science for a couple of thousands of years at the most. However, I feel the current science hasn't still broken away from inorganic materialism. So things that feasible or things we can observe as substantial being with persuasive hypothesis and theories based on the objective numerical data is only the subject of research for scientists. As a matter of fact, things that's unworthy proving and things that people assume that it's just stupid fancy are taken no notice of by scientists, and they don't even direct their interest in establishing hypotheses in this field. So the range of hypotheses and theory that people can support is only the things that can be proved enough for people to be able to believe. So inevitably, research field is biased to material side, and the activity of scientists is extremely limited. So there are not so many scientists that attempt to prove the existence of uncertainties that people generally deny from the modern scientific approach. But it is quite obvious whether or not their scientific research in this field is supported by people, like the combination of science and spirituality. So the number of examples that the existence of the things is terminated due to the fact that there is no means to prove it because of no concrete data expressed as numerical value, although people can feel it exists in this world instinctively, is as abundant as stars in the sky. So originally, science will have to challenge into this kind of fields because science is what removes uncertainties from people's unclear assumption as much as possible through neutral logics. So I personally think that if science makes it possible to establish hypotheses from possibilities regardless of whether or not it is feasible in reality, also leaving a trail on religious fields and spiritual field is truly making the best of the potential of science. So there are still so many uncertainties in religion and spirituality and humans' life and death, and these are still no better than the religious field in every point of respect. So people's recognition on these things have extreme bias. So because it is impossible to inspect if it can be proved, people repeat people repeat stupid acts like they try to take what the originator of religion says as a face value, and they try to change the interpretation of the doctrine depending on the time conveniently. So, and they left spiritual side behind the material side, and in the result that only material side has been developed astonishingly. So many conflicts are occurring this in this world. So the people's trend that materialism is only the principle to prove scientific problems, which will bring uh, devastation in this world someday. So, in my feeling, human spiritual advancement is still insignificant, and people slightly have been able to control their emotions from conflict somehow compared to ancient people in the past. But a part of selfishness that firmly occupies in people's minds, people's hearts, is still driving force to move the world. So, observing from the long history of people's behavior, mental age of people in this world is still immature enough somehow to be able to stand with their feet from crows.